You're making more money than ever, but you're more stressed about money than ever. This is why. Tom knows this feeling intimately. He's 27, sitting in his apartment at 2 a.m. staring at his checking account. The balance shows $743. It's March 8th. Next paycheck is 9 days away. 3 years ago, he'd see about the same number. Different apartment, different car, same stress. Everything expanded to fill the space his raise created. You don't have a money problem. You have a gap problem. Tom's got subscriptions he forgot about. $17 here, $12 there. He's thought about canceling them. Maybe tomorrow. He's been telling himself he'll start a real budget for months. January always feels like the month. He makes the spreadsheet. Then February happens. Something comes up, and the spreadsheet sits there, abandoned. There's this loop. He works hard, gets paid, the money disperses, then it's gone. And he's waiting for the next paycheck, already running calculations. Tom opened a retirement calculator once. Closed it so fast he almost broke his mouse. The number was so large it felt fictional. Marcus texts him a screenshot of a new watch. Treating myself. Marcus makes about the same as Tom. Marcus also has $1,700 in credit card debt he mentions casually, like it's a personality trait. He sends Tom 15 YouTube videos about investing, 4 podcast recommendations. Marcus knows all the words and hasn't opened his credit card statement in 2 months because it stresses him out. The gap between knowing and doing, that's where most people live. He learned algebra, but nobody explained money. Every time he watched his parents stress about money, he was learning. Tom was being trained by a system that profits from him staying confused. The credit card that was easy to get? That's not them being nice. The subscription that's only $9.99? They tested higher prices, and this is where you don't think hard enough to cancel. Here's what nobody tells you about lifestyle inflation. Tom didn't decide to spend more. His life started making spending decisions for him. It started with the job. Tom got promoted. Better title, better salary. That was the first domino. The better job meant later hours downtown. His old apartment was 40 minutes away. That commute started eating into him. So Tom moved. Just closer. Just more convenient. $300 more a month. But he was making $10,000 more a year. The math worked. Except the new apartment was in a nicer neighborhood. And his car looked wrong. The old Honda had a dent in the passenger door. In his old neighborhood, half the cars looked like that. Here, his car stood out. That small embarrassment every time he parked. So Tom upgraded the car. Not crazy, just something that fit. The payment went from $280 to $450, but he could afford it. The new apartment was bigger. Adult space. But his furniture from college, the futon, the plastic shelves, the free coffee table, it all looked different in this context. Like he was playing dress-up. Tom bought a new sofa. $1,200. Financed it. 0% for 12 months. But now the sofa made everything else look worse. So Tom bought a new coffee table. Something that matched. $400. And then the floor. The beige carpet looked institutional now. Tom bought a rug. Something that tied the room together. $300. Each decision was reasonable. That's how traps work. They don't feel like traps. Each decision made sense in isolation. The apartment made sense because of the commute. The car made sense because of the neighborhood. The sofa made sense because of the apartment. The coffee table made sense because of the sofa. The rug made sense because of the coffee table. But here's what Tom didn't see. Each upgrade created a new baseline. New normal feels wrong. Lifestyle inflations cascade. Choices bloom. Unseen. Unfelt. Wealth bloomed, but your life stayed same, save a plush new sofa. And this is where everything Tom thought he knew breaks. Tom's not actually bad with money. He spends precisely his income. Tom meets David for lunch. David is 52, owns his house outright. No debt. Makes less than Tom. He's more financially secure than anyone Tom knows. David drives a 10-year-old Honda. From the outside, David seems like he's missing out. Here's what David knows. Money is a test of self-trust, not willpower. Tom thinks his problem is discipline. He's trying to white-knuckle his way to different results. This is why budgets fail. Not because the math is wrong, but because the identity is unsustainable. David had Tom's same problem at 34. $22,000 in debt. Tired in a way sleep didn't fix. Then his washing machine broke. $400 to fix. He didn't have it. Standing there, repairman waiting, David had a thought. I'm making decisions I will not respect in the future. That was the crack. Would you give your money to someone who consistently made choices that stressed you out? That's who runs Tom's finances right now. David made a different promise. I will only make financial decisions my future self will thank me for. David tells Tom, you don't have a money problem, you have a meaning problem. Every dollar you spend is a vote for the life you want. But you're voting without intention. Your life is being built by default, not by design. David treats his dollars strategically. Every dollar gets assigned a mission. Orders are clear. Deployment is purposeful. Wealth is built in the gap between what you could spend and what you do. Tom has $1,770 left at the end of each month for everything else. Marcus has $1,600. Similar money. But in 10 years, wildly different outcomes. Because one will protect the gap. The gap is where wealth lives. Most people work hard to create it and immediately close it. They get a raise. Increase their lifestyle in exact proportion. The gap never widens. Tom's financial future is being decided by his 11 p.m. decisions. When Tom's tired, scrolling, he sees something and thinks, I deserve this. That decision, 3 times a week for a year, is $4,500. Over 5 years, $22,000. Invested over 20 years, $130,000. Tom's not making small decisions. He's making compounding decisions. David has rules. Not budgets. Budgets require constant vigilance. Rules are simple. No purchases over $50 without waiting 24 hours. No subscriptions without quarterly reviews. No debt except a mortgage. These aren't restrictions, they're automation. David shows Tom the gap rule. Every time you get a raise, 50% goes to investments automatically. Before you even see it. Before your lifestyle adjusts. You live on the other 50%. Your lifestyle can grow just slower than your wealth grows. Tom thinks about his last raise. 10,000 more a year. 5 grand would invest. 5 grand works. Instead, his lifestyle absorbed all 10,000. The apartment, the car, the sofa, the coffee table, the rug, each one reasonable. Together, they consumed everything. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Tom's lifestyle is someone else's marketing budget working. That feeling when Tom sees something new and desirable, that was engineered. Billions spent to make him feel like what he has isn't enough. The neighborhood told him his car wasn't good enough. The sofa told him his coffee table wasn't good enough. Just one more thing. Tom doesn't have a margin for error. Not because he's unlucky, because he didn't protect the gap. Every person Tom envies made a choice he wasn't willing to make. They valued future freedom over present appearance. They drove the worst car. They kept the old sofa. They said no to the Cascade. 5 years from now, Tom will wish he started today. That's not inspiration. That's math. David is 52 now. At 57, he could retire. Not yacht retire. Just stop if he chooses. The difference between working because you have to and working because you want to, the difference between trapped and free. This is the fork Tom's standing at. Path A. Continue. The stuff gets nicer. The stress stays. More regret. Path B. The uncertainty of change. He'd drive a lesser car, but he'd be free. Actually free. The question isn't whether he can change. The question is whether he will. The gap rule sits on the table between them, written on a napkin. Every raise, 50% to investments automatically. Live on the rest. Simple, clear, executable. Nobody's coming to fix this for Tom, or for you. Your move.